It's a war that's been raging in Tasmania for 30 years, with clashes between loggers and conservationists making headlines across Australia. And for Senator Bob Brown, it's been quite a ride.
One of the first headed for the police van, Australian Greens leader Senator Bob Brown.
It's a bittersweet thing to be part of the environment movement. It's the dread of knowing the police would arrive and that people in these forests who have been peacefully here wanting to defend it are being carted off to jail while the bulldozers, the machines of destruction, move in.
Bob has spent the last 25 years campaigning to save Tasmania's pristine native forests and some of the world's oldest trees.
The majesty of these forests, in which an axe has never been heard, is beyond description. Well, not axes, not just chainsaws, but cable loggers and firebombing, total destruction being brought into that region by modern industrial logging.
But just last month, the timber industry and environmentalists agreed to try and find what once seemed impossible, a compromise, in the form of a new agreement called the Statement of Principles.
The agreement is to protect some 500,000 hectares of high conservation value forests, like this one we're sitting in.
In the last 10 years, a fifth of Australia's native forests have been lost to wood chipping. In that same amount of time, logging work has been declining, forcing the industry to rethink their approach.
In the past, we have been of opposing views, strong opposing views here. So to actually sit down with the environmental groups and start to discuss the key issues that we need to discuss was quite historic.
While the agreement is good news for the environment, for those on the front line, it brings with it a degree of uncertainty.
The reaction's been one of probably a little bit distrust at times. You know, we're meeting with people who have traditionally want to just shut us down. They might aim for the bigger companies, but really we're the people in the end who get shut down.
I mean, it's the topic of conversation every time you talk to someone on the street. You know, they're all worried about what's going to happen in the future. So yeah, they're all nervous. Yeah.
The challenge now for leaders is to find pathways out for timber workers to stop the logging of our old-growth forests and to move into plantation areas.
The value of these forests is bringing people here to see them, and that's going to be a source of jobs, of economic well-being, of investment for centuries to come.
The stage is set to find a new way forward, not just for the Tasmanian environment and forest industry, but for the rest of Australia.
It's incredibly significant to have long-running good faith discussions and come to a point where traditional rivals have come to identify and agree to protect our magnificent native forests here in Tasmania, and we need to build a new sustainable timber industry.
I believe it is a step in the right direction. It has to be. We have to have an end to the conflict.
We will be catching up with common sense if this nation decides to protect this for its heritage, for its future, for its inspiration for the centuries to come.